I am excited, honored, and so proud to introduce our next honoree, Pat Mitchell. Pat is a revolutionary force in media and advocacy, and to quote her directly, a dangerous woman. Throughout her groundbreaking career as a journalist, Emmy-winning producer, and pioneering executive, she has relentlessly elevated women's stories, issues, and ideas. And as the co-founder of Connected Women Leaders, she leads a global coalition dedicated to collective problem solving and some of our planet's most urgent issues. One of their most prominent initiatives is Project Dandelion, a women-led climate justice campaign that amplifies women's leadership as a pivotal force for climate solutions. Pat's influence extends to her transformative role as the editorial director, co-founder, curator, and host of TEDWomen, which spotlights powerful, often underrepresented voices and ideas, and of course is where I have had the great privilege of getting to know and working with Pat. As a founding member of the V-Day movement, she tirelessly champions the end of violence against women and girls. And in her memoir, Becoming a Dangerous Woman, Pat shares her bold journey as a frontline advocate for equality and social justice. She defines dangerous as the audacity to speak up for the unrepresented, to stand firmly against abuse and injustice, and to show up for others. I feel so lucky to get to witness Pat be dangerous up close. Through her leadership of TEDWomen, I have seen how much care and honestly love Pat puts into nurturing women leaders and supporting women's issues and fighting for causes of women's leadership. It takes a special person to honestly be simultaneously confident in your own voice, humble in what you can learn from others, and thoughtful about using your platform to be a champion. This is something Pat does effortlessly. She is truly a beacon, and I am grateful to have been the recipient of some of her light in my own life. Pat's life and work are a testament to the transformative power of purpose and passion. And she is proof that the greatest leaders are unstoppable. There is truly no one more deserving of this award. And it is my great honor to present the Institute for Women's Leadership's Torchlighter Award to the extraordinary, the indomitable Pat Mitchell.
I not only have lost my voice, but I have now lost my composure. What an unbelievable meaning that has for me, Whitney, to hear that from you. Because I think of all the words that all of us treasure most, it is when we hear the words that testify to our impact on someone else's life. And that's what I'm feeling in this room tonight. Not only with the extraordinary women that I share this award with, it has just been a real privilege to get to know you, Janine. I'm moving all my money to Amalgamated Bank, which, by the way, is not very much, so don't get too excited. And I want to say how grateful I am to the IWL. Frankly, I would have gone anywhere in the world to accept an award that is named for Gloria Steinem, and that came from her inspiration. And I feel such gratitude to this center for recognizing that and creating the Gloria Steinem Chair. And when I saw Gloria on Thursday night, the night I lost my voice, we were together at the Women's Media Center Award, an organization we started together. And I told her I was getting the Torchlighter Award at the Center for Leadership at Rutgers. And she said, well, I think I should go with you. Now, many of you know that Gloria is not traveling these days, and she's gratefully staying at home and taking care of herself. But that's how much this center means to her and to this award in her name. So I want to, again, say deep gratitude for having this chair, having this recognition that Gloria passed her torch to almost every woman in this room and in the world. And I'd also like to bring into this room, thank you. I'd also like to bring into this room the awesome Allison Bernstein. And of course, Charlotte and Abby, who I have done so much work with over the years. We've been in those trenches of women's leadership for a long time. And like Abby tonight, I'm going to throw out my prepared remarks because my work and Abby's work has been aligned from the very beginning on a foundational belief that when women lead, change follows. So I thought about all the things I wanted to talk to you about. The Connected Women Leaders work, where we convinced the Rockefeller Foundation that if you brought 40 women together from different generations, different geographies, different places in the world, different places on the economic scale, different sectors of life and focus, and you gave them problems to solve, they would solve them. They would come up with new ideas and innovations. In fact, I have to recognize that when I suggested we move the podium papers a little further up, the innovative women in this room put, is it Coke bottles or water bottles? Anyway, they did it. And I took a picture of it because it's what I've witnessed all over the world. Women coming up with the innovative solutions to solve whatever the crisis may be. And for me, this work started with my media work, and I had the opportunity, as did Abby, to travel the world and see women making huge differences in war and peace. And one particular one stands out to me tonight in thinking of the first ever peace conference convened by Arab and Jewish women in 1990. Waging Peace, they called it. And in one weekend, they drafted a 7-paragraph page agreement that would today have ended the conflict in Israel and Gaza. And at that conference, a great New York congresswoman named Bella Abzug stood up and said, okay, we don't have time to list the grievances. We've only got a weekend to get this peace thing settled. And here's how we're going to do it. In the next century, and by the way, that's our century now, women must change the nature of power rather than power changing the nature of women. So, like Abby, I'm kind of tired of that debate about do men and women lead differently. Yes, we do. And that makes the results all the better. And when you look at the results of women as leaders of companies, of families, of communities, of parliaments, Congress, companies, as well as governments, data now clearly shows that women bring about different results. They lead from their feminist values. They bring into play all of their feminine virtues of going for consensus, building consensus, working for compromise, putting family in front of policies. And that's how change happens. So while I could talk to you tonight about all the many places in which I see women's leadership making a difference, I'm going to focus, because I made a promise to another woman, that I would focus every platform, everything I wrote, every opportunity I had to use my influence to urge all of us, women and men, to recognize that we are on a trajectory toward a catastrophe. And we don't have to be fearful. We have to take hope as a strategy. I've just come from the New York Climate Week, which is another reason I have no voice. And we saw the Planetary Guardians report that we have less than 5 years to reverse the damage we've done to our planet. And yet we have all the solutions in place. That's where hope becomes our strategy. And as I've traveled the world and have seen these solutions on the ground, so many of them are being led by women. But they are the voices not heard, the stories not told, and they're under-resourced. And yet it will be women, in my opinion, who are the most powerful ally the world has in solving the climate and nature crisis. So I am calling on all of us to join with each other, to make the commitment to each other, that no matter where we come at social justice issues, we have to have a habitable planet on which to take them forward. Ireland's first woman president, Mary Robinson, who was with me at our Connected Women Leaders group, sort of pushed me up against a wall one day, and she said, I know that what you really care about is gender equality. That's been the focus of your work, your films, your stories, but you can't worry about gender equality on a dead planet. They're all intersectional. Climate is everyone's issue. Whether we're working on immigration rights, racial justice, wherever we're coming at food sovereignty, all of the many issues and global challenges, we have to have a livable planet for ourselves and, most importantly, for our children. And the good news is, as I said earlier, we have it. We are so close to getting it right. And we believe at Project Dandelion that women will be the ones, not women only, but women-led, walking hand in hand with the male allies who are there at the negotiating tables trying to make the right decisions, but they need our voices. Our voices and our resources and our work is on the front lines everywhere. But everything we do in this room, every decision we make, is either one moving us forward or keeping us stuck in a very dangerous path. So I don't want to create fear. I want to create hope. And that is why at Project Dandelion, we chose the dandelion as a pin, because it says when you wear the pin, and now I'm happy to say 10,000 or so women and men, leaders, are proudly wearing the dandelion. It says, I remember that I am a part of the powerful ecosystem of nature. And like the dandelion, I'm going to be climate resilient. The dandelion grows on all 7 continents, even through the ice in Antarctica. There's no waste in a dandelion. You can eat or drink every single part of it. And most importantly, how does it spread? By blowing the seeds. So as we wear the dandelion and I stand in front of you, which I feel very privileged to do, because I know the power that can be unleashed in every decision made in this room, I am asking you to become a spreader, a master seeder. In every decision that we make, to think, am I moving the world forward towards a climate safe, livable, habitable world for everyone? Or am I making a decision that protects my place in the world, or that moves us backward, or that even keeps us in the same place? Last night I was with my granddaughter, one of 14 granddaughters and grandsons. And the young people looked at me and they said, what does a regenerative world look like to you? And as you think about regeneration as a concept, that's the opportunity we have now as torchlighters. And I love the concept of torchlighters because we are igniting a movement. We are igniting a disturbance. We are igniting a change. And yes, that can be dangerous. And dangerous times definitely call for dangerous women. They also call for torchlighters to light their torches for everyone. And I am so honored by this recognition, by this name. Of all the names you get called when you're 81, I'll take torchlighter first. And like Gloria, I will never pass my torch. But I do make a promise to you tonight, which feels renewed in its energy and commitment by this recognition, that I'm going to hold that torch higher and brighter and shine it on every woman and every problem that I see. And I hope you'll join me in being the dangerous problem solvers dancing in its light. Thank you.